Hello friends, in this session I'm going to discuss about the remaining part of Unit 1 of MMPC, sorry not MMPC, it is BCOE 143. Okay, so in the previous session I discussed up to functions, financial management functions, just like investment decisions, financing decisions and dividend decisions. Okay, after all, so now the next point here, it is given as you can see on your screen, that is finance and other related disciplines, means how finance it is related to other disciplines. So that's what we are going to discuss today. Okay, so now let's start. So here you can see that finance, financial management and economics. So how financial management it is related with the economics. So that's the first thing which we are going to discuss. Okay, so that relation we have to discuss first. So here given economics can be divided into two parts. So broadly, economics it is classified into two parts. So the first one, that is macroeconomics, second it is micro. So these two parts we will discuss, and then we will establish the relation in between the economics and the financial management. So now you see, what is this microeconomics? So macroeconomics, the banking system. So in macroeconomics we study about the banking system, capital markets, financial intermediaries, RBI, monetary, fiscal and economic policies, etc. So these things we study under macroeconomics. Okay, so this is overall you can say that macroeconomics it is the overall environment of the nation or the globe where an industry operates. So that's what we study in macroeconomics. In macroeconomics we study the overall environment of the nation or the globe where an industry operates. Okay, so we study about the banking system here in macroeconomics. So banking system it means that is related to the finance, because many aspects of financial management are related to banking system, and the capital markets also, intermediaries, RBI, monetary policies, fiscal policies. So these all things are related with the financial management, because these all things affect financial management. Okay, now the second thing here, it is given microeconomics. So micro, what is this microeconomics? The organization's internal environment which is controllable in nature. That's what we study under microeconomics. Okay, that's what we study in microeconomics. In microeconomics we study the organization's internal environment which is controllable in nature. So this is controllable, that is clear. Okay, it means you can control the internal environment of the organization. Okay, so that we study the internal environment of the organization in microeconomics, and when decisions related to the internal matters of the organizations are discussed in microeconomics. Just like here given, nature and size of the organization. So what should be the nature and what is should be the size of the organization, that decision it is taken by with the help of microeconomics. Liquidity position, pattern and ownership, etc. So these all things we also study in microeconomics, and these things affect the financial management. Okay, so that's how financial management it is related with the economics. The second thing here, it is given financial management and accounting. So how financial management and accounting are related with each other. So accounting deals with data collection and reporting, whereas finance deals with reading this data, analyzing it, and finally making decision. Okay, so what here given, fine, accounting deals with data collection, so it collects the data, report the data, whereas finance deals with the reading of this data, analyzing it, and finally making decision. It means we can say accounting acts as the base on which financial management functions work. Okay, so if you do not have you know what, the accounting information, then you cannot make financial decision. So that's why here given accounting deals with the data collection. We collect the data regarding finance, we report, okay, and collection and reporting of accounting data, uh, we observe there, and then finance deals with the reading of this data. It means whatever data and reporting have been completed by the accounting are used by the finance for analyzing and finally making decision. That is clear. That's how financial management and accounting are related with each other. Okay, I hope that is clear. Then we can move on to the next point, that is, as you can see on your screen, that is objectives of financial management. So what are objectives? So mainly two objectives are there. First objective, it is the profit maximization. Second, it is the wealth maximization. So we will talk about these two broad objectives of financial management. So what is this objective of financial management? Means to reach to a goal of a business. Okay, so what different ways we can reach to the goal of the business, so that's what we uh, get to know under objectives of financial management. Okay, so the goals of the business can be reached by profit maximization also, or by wealth maximization also. So first, go to profit maximization. So what is there? So under profit maximization, here given maximizing the income of the firm. That's the main objective of this. So profit maximization means maximizing the profit, or you can say the income of the firm. So if you increase the income of the firm, it means that is related with the profit maximization. The bigger the better concept is adopted here, not socially responsible decision on the part of the firm. So it may not be socially responsible decision. So what are pros? Pros are given. Pros, the first pros given are resources utilized efficiently. So under profit maximization. And second, here measure of firm's performance. This means by measuring the profit or by the income of the firm, we can measure the firm's performance. If there is more income, then we can say that it is better performance. Okay, test of the economic efficiency. It means if there is more income, it means we can say that that is more economical efficient. Okay, then cons here given. What different cons are given? The first here, as you can see on the screen, that is vague and ambiguous. What is given? Vague and ambiguous. So what you can see here, so it may not be quite clear. Secondly, ignores the risk and time value of money. So profit maximization ignores the risk and time value of money. Third given here, ignores quality aspect of benefit. Fourth given, ignores socially responsible behavior. Now come to the next objective, or the second main objective, that is the wealth maximization. So under wealth maximization, the firm's ultimate goal, okay, firm's ultimate goal are given here in operational term given: maximization of profit, maximization of return on capital employed, growth in earnings per share, optimum level of leverage, minimization of cost of capital. So under wealth maximization, these are the ultimate goal of wealth ultimate goal of the firm. Takes into consideration, means wealth maximization takes into consideration the risk, appropriateness, and the time value of money. So time value of money, appropriateness, risk, these all things are considered under wealth maximization. So maximization of the market price of the share here given, you see. So maximization of the market price of the share, that is the main objective. Okay, means what different ways by which the market price of the share can be increased. So that is the main objective under this wealth maximization. So overall, we can say the ultimate purpose under this wealth maximization is that we can increase the wealth of the shareholders. So here given, if the time period is short and the risk is negligible, then both the profit maximization and wealth maximization are almost the same. Okay, so that's here given simply, if the time period it is short and risk is negligible, then both wealth maximization and profit maximization are going to give the similar kind of results. I think that is clear. Two different objectives of financial management, I can say two different ways by which the firms work. So now next, risk and return trade-off. Two main determinants of the price of security. Okay, so the price of the security is mainly determined by two factors. So first it is the risk, second it is the return. So greater the risk, greater the return. Risk, what is this risk? Measure of uncertainty. A measure of uncertainty is known as risk, and returns means the gain or loss expected over a given period of time by the decision maker. Okay, so whatever it is, the gain or loss expected over a given period of time by the decision maker, that what it is called returns. What that is called? Returns. A finance manager has to consider, okay, a finance manager has to consider the risk to have greater returns. So he or she has to trade off between risk and return. So what is given here? A finance manager has to consider the risk to have greater returns. So he has to trade off between risk and return. Okay. So that's what a finance manager has to consider. So what he has to consider? He has to consider the risk. Okay. So risk to have greater return. If there is more risk, so greater return should be there. Okay. So he has to trade off between risk and return. So that trade off should be made by the finance manager. So if there it is more risk, so there should be greater return also. So the rate of return from operations is usually determined by margins and turnover. Okay, margins and turnover, margins and turnover. So by these two determinants, we can say that what rate of return we can get from the operation. Okay, so rate of return from the operation is generally determined by the margins and turnover. I think that is clear. If it is clear, then we can move on further. Now next, here we have the margin, sorry, not means under that, means under the risk and return trade-off, something remained here. The margin can be increased by increasing sales. So by increasing sales, we can increase the margin, which should be more than operating expenses. It means the margin should be greater than the operating expenses, decreasing the operating expenses than sales. So these are two ways by which the margin can be increased. The first way is to increase the sales, okay, which should be more than the operating expenses, and the second, it is by decreasing the operating expenses than sales. So whatever it is the sales value, so less than that there should be the operating expenses, then we can get the margin. Next point here given, as you can see here on the screen, role of finance manager. So what different roles are given? So divided into two functions. So role of finance manager are divided into two major functions. So major function, first it is the major function, second it is the other function. So major functions of finance manager given: first, estimation of capital requirements. Okay, whatever it is the capital required by the organization or the firm, that should be estimated by the finance manager. procuring the required fund. So from different sources, the finance manager should procure funds. Third, given allocation of funds. So finance manager has to decide that how to allocate funds for different purposes in the firm. Fourth, given management of current assets, means whatever current assets are available in the organization, so how to utilize the current assets, so that decision also made by the finance manager. Financial control means how we can decrease the use of money, or you can say with the less resource how we can get more output. That should also be decided by the finance manager. So these are different functions of finance manager. Then other functions of finance manager here given: first, to maintain optimum level of inventory and receivables. Second, given evaluation of investment. Third, given financial negotiations. Fourth, given track of share prices. Okay, these are other functions of finance managers. Then next we have challenges. What do we have? Challenges of finance manager. So what different challenges are there for the finance managers? First, here it is in creating value for shareholders. So by different ways, finance manager should ensure that the value of shareholders should increase. Understanding the psychology of investor. Okay, because if the finance manager does not understand the psychology of investors, then he or she will not be able to make them invest or to persuade them to invest in the organization. Managing market risk means finance manager has to manage the market risk also. So that is a, a very big challenge for the finance manager. Being smart, which means possess effective interpersonal and communication skills and overall knowledge of the organization. So these are different challenges of finance managers. I hope up to now things are clear. So the first unit of BCOE, that 143, that is clear, and that is over also. So thank you all. So see you in the next session.